Hello and welcome everyone again to another edition of Social Media Myths Busted. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and creator of Transform Today and the Savvy Social Media Success System. And today I have an awesome guest with us, James Hickey. Hi, James.
Hello, hi Laura. How's it going?
Good. I'm thrilled to have James here, and let me tell everybody why. Because James is an amazing internet marketer. He's mastered social media and local marketing. So put all those three together, and he's got a lot of great stories for us. So I wanted maybe you could tell everybody about you and how you got started, and the main focus of your work.
Perfect. Uh, I was a business owner for about 18 years. I was in like a gas station auto repair business, and then when I semi-gracefully got out in 2007, I started learning internet marketing through some like affiliate marketing and top-tier direct sales, which was 2007. That was very new to a lot of people. And even though I love the people I met and the internet marketers, I just really felt that I could use my services better working with business owners. So about 6 months into learning about marketing, I went straight into helping business owners uh, generate leads and sales and get new clients. And so that's kind of how I started out doing that from 2007 till about 2011. So I worked with many business owners and startup companies, and then along the way, I created my own product, my own training course, where I train people who want to become internet marketing consultants. So if someone's looking for a career in my space, I can help them get started. So I still work with a lot of business owners, about half of my time, and then the other half is helping other people get careers in this field.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you first got started on internet marketing or started thinking about it as a business owner yourself with the gas station auto repair business, did you like the idea of social media or was it kind of weird to you?
No, I mean, early on, I adopted it. I was very social myself, so I was very familiar with MySpace, which was one of the marketing strategies back in 2006, 2007, you know. So I was very active in, using MySpace and America Online and, very social. So I was already leveraging, forums and chat rooms and networking and meeting people using the internet, 10 years ago.
So, in what ways did using those forums and chat rooms, and actually fast forward to today, how does that help your success? How does social media help your success?
Well, it helps in several ways. The main way is business owners that may be out there looking to hire someone like me to help them with their social media and internet marketing consulting and needs. They can check out my online portfolio, whether it's my LinkedIn profile, my Facebook page, um, my Twitter account with like 80,000 followers, or they can look at what I've been doing for myself and say, wow, this guy's like, knocking out of the park for himself. I'm sure he can do the same for me. So I think that's something I learned early on is a lot of people, before they spend money with you, whether as a business owner or maybe buying a course or training product, people will do their own research on you. So you can use the power of social media to brand yourself as an expert in your industry. And then that moves towards any of my business owners. I tell them the same thing. Whether they're a chiropractor, we need to make sure that their online presence brands them as an expert, as a chiropractor. So when other people check them out, they'll spend money with that client.
Credibility is huge when you work on social media. So, not everybody's like you as a business owner who is very social or into being social online. What myths do you think people buy into that a lot of people think about, oh, it's so risky. What do you think the myth of risk is out there?
As an individual or the business owners?
Well, business owners primarily. I
Yeah.
mean, but they may be thinking they're at risk personally, or who knows? What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, yeah, some of the, that's a good question. Some of the myths that I found, it'd be like, I'm a very non-social person. So if I create a Facebook page for, Joe's chiropractor, do I have to, you know, do I have to go on there as me, or can I act as my business? I'm fine acting as my business, but I don't want people into my personal life. So there is a way, using, all these different platforms where you can be maybe a non-social person, but you can leverage social media for your business. So there's a way to separate that out. Even when you create a fan page, that you can act as your page, you don't have to act as yourself.
Right. And so that's really great for that to bust through that myth of you don't actually have to reveal private information. And is
Mhm.
there anything you've seen businesses do wrong where they reveal too much, they get themselves in trouble?
Yeah, well, I've seen many businesses attempt to do it themselves, and I think that's great if they can do it themselves. But if they don't understand it, then it doesn't make sense. So I've known some clients that on all of their Facebook page postings, it's with them and their kids and their family, and it's kind of like, it's okay if you throw an occasional family picture in there, but this is your business page. Let's talk about your business and why you're an expert in your business, and maybe what your monthly specials are, or maybe a blog that talks about your business. So I've seen some business owners don't can't quite aren't quite separating the difference between personal and business. So you got to kind of reel them in.
Yeah. Do you think they're putting their families at risk or something at risk if they do that too much?
I don't
Or more
know
there's their business
in the
at
way
risk?
of yeah, in the way of risk. I mean, especially from a business owner perspective, you could, depending on your business. I mean, you could, maybe have a lawsuit or have something against you that could happen that could hurt you by using social media. So I try to suggest to my clients to keep Facebook personal stuff on your personal page. Business, you're all business. So if you're posting 3 times a day, post one funny image about your business, post one piece of content about your business, and then maybe one call to action about your business. But so keep it interesting and engaging, but don't bring in your personal life, to your business. I think in the long run that would hurt
Yeah.
or not
So,
help.
right. Any other myths that either you did along the way? Was there any myth that you bumped into that you may have bought into accidentally and realized you had to overcome? Any misconception you had along the way
Like a myth regarding the use of social media.
for business in particular? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, no, I can't really think of any myths. I know I've got a lot of fun stories that I've worked with some clients over the years, and
Oh, let's
I'll
hear
tell
some of
you
those.
I'll tell you one. It's this is very early on in my career, as you can say. It's only 7 years old now, going on 8. Is I met the owner of the Bosu fitness ball, and that's that blue ball that's at the gym that you see, but not the big round one. It's like the half blue ball that people do sit-ups on, and they work at the gym. So this guy was the inventor of the Bosu fitness ball, but he didn't have any online presence. He just got his website up. Everybody else was already, leveraging social media, for their business, and it was fun to have a client like that, because a lot of times on social media, I'm trying to make someone who's not famous famous. This was a reverse. This was someone who's already famous, and then just introducing them into how they could leverage that for their space. So that was one of the fastest accounts I've ever grown.
How did you
Uh,
do that?
Back then, it was through a lot of invites. Back in the when you could invite people to your Facebook page and multiple accounts, and this is even before the paid platform. So it was going into like fitness groups or fitness pages that were on there, and acting as the owner or acting as the page, and everybody just loves that product and loves and knows who he is. So after a while, once I got it out there, we're getting 10, 20 friend requests a day to his personal account, and then we started shifting them all over to his fan page. So it was interesting uh, client compared to some other people who are, you know, maybe they're a farmer's agent and they're like, hey, make me famous online. I'm like, okay. It's a bit a little tougher than someone who's already famous offline and then they jump in. So I thought that was a fun story.
Yeah, that's really cool. Helping the Bosu ball guy, and so getting
Yeah.
and going into the groups are great. The you mentioned a couple words there, but people do get themselves into trouble nowadays if they open multiple accounts on Facebook,
Yeah.
because that's against Facebook's terms. And if Facebook finds out, they shut you down. And if they happen to shut down the account that your Facebook fan page is tied to, and you don't have any other admins or any other way to get into it, you're screwed. you know. So that's a myth, I think. People think, oh gosh, I'll just do all these hacks, and we'll get we'll figure out how to game the system, right?
Right, right, right.
And then they get screwed up because Facebook and Twitter, well, Facebook in particular doesn't like that. So,
Yeah.
how about, I love that phrase. I try to make people, someone who's not famous, famous. What kind of tips do you have for people who want to become famous who are not like the State Farm agent or attorneys or whoever?
That really falls into content creation. It's a combination of articles, videos, YouTube videos, blogs, press releases. It falls into a combination of those because if you don't know anything about that person, how do you learn about them? You learn about them through content. So you could, put out some YouTube videos about that person or themselves. And this example I use a lot when I'm trying to explain this to a business owner would be like this glass of water here. So basically, this is actually a pretty big glass of water, but if I kept pouring water into it, eventually it's going to overflow, and there's going to be water all over the place on my keyboard and everywhere, but the water is going to be everywhere. So basically, when you start creating content, at first you're not going to get much traction from it because it's just a little bit of water in the bottom. But once you start filling up this glass and it's overflowing everywhere, then that person's content is everywhere on the web. So they could be on a YouTube search result, they could be on a keyword search result, they could show up on Facebook pages or Twitter accounts or Tumblr or Bumbler or Stumbler or Instagram, whatever. You start putting the content out on all these different platforms and creating steady content, then you show up everywhere,
Yeah.
and it's online branding, but it's actually kind of if you think back of the old school marketing, you see Shell doing commercials about Shell gasoline, Shell gasoline, Shell gasoline. You see Shell gasoline 100 times. When you're driving down the street and you see Shell gasoline and Joe's gas, you just go, I know Shell, I trust Shell.
Yeah. And you think of that shell, like that
Yeah,
everywhere,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's the old. I remember watching some of the Mad Men episodes, how they would get people to purchase products, and it's similar to. So that's kind of how if you flip that to where we are online now, it's just a matter of creating enough content and then placing that content where people are searching.
Yeah. So share with us some examples of how you did that with different types of businesses.
Well, a lot of it was done through video marketing and through content marketing through
What kind
uh,
of business?
what kind of business?
Yeah, like who have you
Like
helped do that?
realtors, furniture stores. So there's like some certain keywords like that, and even back in when I still had my gas station in the last one that I had, I created a video when I still was running it. It was Point Loma Point Loma Auto Repair, and so when someone searched the word Point Loma Auto Repair, up popped my video like in the second or third spot. So the video
Fabulous.
got thousands and thousands of views because I positioned it where people were searching. So there's some advanced strategies to do that, but that's just one of the quick ways I thought of to answer your question. You might have to repeat that question. I didn't hear you.
Sorry. It always helps to take the mute off, you know.
Yeah,
It wasn't
we've been
you, it
doing
was me.
we've been doing pretty good this so far. I was just like,
I know,
no.
I know. So tell me, any other client success stories that you have that you can share and inspire people with? I know we were talking about what a lawyer.
Yeah, I could. This one is very recent.
Yeah.
This was an attorney, um, works in the downtown area. Is actually a friend of mine, and I've met him through some mutual friends. And for about the last year, or year and a half, he would see some of my. He's my personal Facebook friend. He'd see some of my posts, and he'd see me talking about, you know, speaking at an event, or you know, I have a free 30-minute consultation if you want social media for your business. I post some business on my own personal profile, but it's not all business. So over the last year or so, a couple times he emailed me, or he said, let's talk business. And I kind of I think at the time I kind of sensed that he wasn't quite serious, so I didn't really follow up with that. So finally, he came to me and he says, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start. But he goes, I got to tell you straight up, I don't believe in this social media marketing. My business for the last 14 years has been word of mouth, word of mouth. So I was just like, perfect. What's the biggest word of mouth platform online? Social media. So in my third day working with him, I got him a $4,000 client on his third day.
What did you do to get him a client on the third
Well,
day?
I did a lot. I did in just 3 days, but what actually did it was his Yelp profile. Believe it or not, he had a Yelp profile. He had three, like 4 and 5 star reviews, but on his description and on his page and his pictures and his keywords, he didn't have anything. He had one little short paragraph and like two
Hmm.
pictures. So I got on there and I added like 15 or 20 keyword-based pictures with keyword-based descriptions, and then I added about 1,000 words of text that I got off his website. I didn't even have to call him. I just went to his website. I go, everything's here. So I put that on there, and he was getting about 3 to 5 views a month on Yelp, and in June he had 22,
Nice.
and he had like 6 or 7 people call him right from Yelp. So it was, that's just the one. I mean, it could have been Facebook, it could have been Google Plus, because he hadn't done his Google Plus page either. But this one story happened to be that. So this is at the end of June. He was so excited that he came down and prepaid me for the month of July.
That's great.
Yep.
That's always nice, right?
Yeah.
When the fruits of your efforts come out,
Yep.
and then clients are, um, happy. So, what advice do you have for people who are now willing to step in and play a bigger game and get out there on social media and become positioned as an expert in their
Well,
industry?
with individuals, so there could be other entrepreneurs like you or me watching this, and there could be other business owners that's starting out with watching this, and I would say it really falls back to some patience, and then content creation. And we've also become very, very visual with our content now. So and very with your online branding. So I would say to get out there, you want to realize it's not going to happen overnight. You might get 50 likes to your Facebook page, and then the next month you're going, this doesn't work. I keep posting every day, and no one's buying, or no one's coming, or no one's calling. Well, you just got to stay at it and be consistent and just grow. because if you're getting 50 a month or it's 100 a month, by 10 months you'll have 1,000 people. Now your audience has got bigger. So just add it as part of your marketing plan and put it in your rotation. But then start creating content, whether it's a short video or a short slideshow. About if you're not comfortable being on camera, maybe 5 or 6 slides with the music behind it, and then a branding with the logo at the end, or control your brand. Or since Instagram is very popular now, and then also Facebook posts and everything, you create your own content. So whether it's an image, so for example, could be that the DUI attorney create a picture of someone or a drink or hand DUI, and then overlay his logo in it. And I am probably the worst graphic designer you'll ever meet, but I use a site called PicMonkey, P-I-C Monkey, and it's so easy. You just upload a picture, and then it says add text. You click that, and you can write text over top of the picture, and it says overlay. Then I just grab that person's image, and I drop it over there and position it where I want, resize it, just drag it, drop. I can literally make a custom picture in less than like 1 minute. And I said I have almost zero graphic skills. So these are things that I would suggest people doing, is because these images that are going online, going to Google, going everywhere, going all over the place, they're going to stick around forever. So might as well have your image and your logo and your website on it. So in case other people see it, they're going to see your image and your website and your call to action.
Yes, indeed. And so that brings me to you are an expert master of content creation ideas and where to syndicate your stuff online. I know we could go on and on for a long time. You've taught me a lot. And how can people find you?
Well, I joke about this in many ways. You can just Google me, just just Google James Hickey San Diego, and I have the whole page pretty much. And James Hickey is actually a very popular name, by the way. But the best way to find me, I've got 2 websites, and they're very similar. One is internetmarketingtrainingcenter.net. So internetmarketingtrainingcenter.net. That's mainly for people who want a career in my field. So I have a digital course, train and coach and mentor them to have a career like me. And then the other one is internetmarketingcoachingprogram.net. And that's for business owners or entrepreneurs or someone that needs some direction, some high-end consulting, a business blueprint made up for them. So I'm pretty easy to find. Either Google James Hickey San Diego or visit one of those 2 sites, and you can contact me that way.
Fabulous. Thank you. Anything else you want to leave our listeners and viewers here today with about internet marketing, getting started, and busting through their misconceptions?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of touched on it a little bit, and I think a lot of it is just being very consistent and make it part of your daily schedule, and maybe put an alert in your Google phone or your calendar to just spend 30 minutes a day or 45 minutes a day on your Facebook or your internet marketing. Some of my best updates in marketing is like when I'm sitting at home sometimes, maybe watching a TV show or watching a Padres baseball game. I'll have a laptop next to me, and I'll be maybe adding some followers or going to my LinkedIn profile and accepting people who are requesting me, and I just spin a slow build over the years. But I didn't start. I think I'm over probably 160,000 people now between Twitter and Facebook and these other platforms. Probably way over that if you add all my groups. But it didn't happen, overnight. And just think about it. If you start today, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, you're going to be so far advanced, and you'll have such a bigger audience that you would have wished you started 2 years before. So that'd be my thing. Just hang in there and be consistent and make it as part of your life because it's not going to go away. It's not going away anytime soon.
You heard it here, everyone. Social media myths busted. Social
Hey,
media is here to stay. And not only that, but do those two things. Be consistent and be patient. And you know, things may change, and it's not a matter of if they're going to change, it's a matter of when they're going to change, but they're going to morph, and you'll be there to help to know what to do to change. And thank you so much, James, for your insights, stories, and inspiration.
awesome. Thanks, Laura. Take
You're
care. We'll
welcome.
see you around.
Mhm.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.